Bats play an important role in our ecosystems, providing up to a $1 billion service combating crop pests. Recently, however, some of these bat species have found themselves under attack. White nose syndrome is a disease that affects hibernating bats. Named for the white fungus that appears on the muzzle and other parts of the bats, white nose syndrome has caused what the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has described as the most significant decline in North American wildlife populations in recorded history. First documented in upstate New York during the winter of 2006 and 7, white nose syndrome has spread rapidly across the eastern United States and Canada, now covering a total of 26 states and 5 provinces. The fungus named Pseudogymnoascus destructans has been demonstrated to cause white nose syndrome. It is a cold-loving fungus that grows best at cave temperatures, which in Wisconsin is around 48 degrees Fahrenheit. The fungus grows on the bats while they hibernate inside the caves and mines. These hibernating bats will lower their heart rate and body temperature, while breathing less and suppressing their immune functions in order to conserve their energy. Normally, in this time, they will lose 1/3 of their body weight. However, the fungus, which is also using the bat's stored energy, will cause the bats to arouse prematurely from their hibernation to search for food. Once awake, this search is usually fatal for the bat, as they will expose themselves to frigid temperatures and a lack of insects. Some hibernacula have seen 90 to 100% of their bats die. I was able to meet with Jennifer Riddell from the Wisconsin DNR to learn what was being done locally to address this issue.
Jennifer Riddell, and I'm a conservation biologist, bat biologist, and cave and mine specialist with the Wisconsin Bat Program at the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. And we're standing at the entrance of Horseshoe Bay Cave. It's one of the longest caves in the state. It's in Door County, Wisconsin. And you can see that there's a bat-friendly iron gate prohibiting unauthorized access to this cave. Last winter, white nose syndrome was discovered at Horseshoe Bay Cave. And one of the reasons that Horseshoe Bay Cave is significant is because it's home to approximately 1,200 bats each winter. Bats return to the cave in August and September, begin hibernation for 6 or 7 months of their year, and emerge in late May.
How would you describe Wisconsin's response to white nose syndrome?
We've had several years to watch the progression of the disease, to see it coming, and we've used that time to prepare for its arrival. So in 2010, we received federal funding that allowed us to catalog all of our known hibernation sites. We have approximately 150 caves and mines that bats hibernate in Wisconsin. We have 4 species of cave hibernating bats in the state and 3 migratory species. So the 4 hibernators are little brown bats, big brown bats, northern long-eared bats, and eastern pipistrelles. And then the 3 migratory species are eastern red bats, silver-haired bats, and hoary bats. And so far the disease is not affecting the migratory species because they're not utilizing the cave or mine environment, which is conducive to fungal growth that we see with the disease. So in addition to cataloging our known hibernation sites, we listed our 4 bat species as threatened under the Endangered and Threatened Species Law in Wisconsin, and that affords them additional protection from direct take or direct killing. We established a non-exclusion period, so during the summer maternity roost period, little brown and big brown bats occasionally use homes and buildings throughout the summer months, and of course these are mother bats giving birth to pups inside the site. So from June 1st to August 15th, homeowners and building managers are not allowed to perform exclusions of those maternity colonies, unless of course there's a human health concern. Because Wisconsin has a prohibited invasive species law, NR40, we were able to list the fungus Pseudogymnoascus destructans as a prohibited invasive species in the state of Wisconsin, and then we were able to create several rules pertaining to that listing that were aimed at preventing a jump of the disease, a jump of white nose syndrome into the state. So we made it illegal to bring out-of-state cave gear into the state of Wisconsin, into caves and mines here. We require decontamination of any and all equipment that has been used inside a cave or a mine in Wisconsin before it enters another cave or a mine. And additionally, we were able to receive access to caves and mines throughout the state in order to inspect for the disease.
Do you believe that the affected populations will ever be able to recover from the fungus?
When we talk about population recovery, a population can't withstand losses of 90 or 95% or greater. So when we look at the statistics from out east, it shows that there's a 99% chance of regional extinction of little brown bats from areas where the disease is present within a period of 15 years. So clearly that doesn't bode well, and it's the reason that we're trying so hard to come up with a solution. And more importantly, the solution that we come up with needs to be ultimately sustainable. And in the meantime, we're looking at treatments that may allow us to at least save some bats until we can come up with a more sustainable long-term solution. There's some reason for hope. The few percent of bats that are surviving the disease in various hibernation sites in the eastern half of the United States are being closely monitored. Individuals have been marked with bands or pit tags and are routinely surveyed both at their winter and summer hibernation sites in order to understand perhaps why they appear to be surviving this disease winter after winter. And it's fairly early. We only have a few years of data, and biologists in the east will continue monitoring those surviving populations, and hopefully the information that they gain will be able to influence management decisions that we make here in the Midwest and in the West as the disease progresses.
It is now our responsibility to make every effort that we can to help our bats survive. We can only hope that they can hold on long enough for us to find ways to help them battle the fungus. Hopefully, time will work with us.